What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video where I'm going to talk to you about a little product that has a big impact on your ability to manage your paddle, which will lead to catching more fish. So you're going to say to yourself, Chad, how in the heck can managing my paddle make me catch more fish? Well, I'll tell you this. I've probably seen more big fish spooked by a paddle bumping a boat than any other thing that I can think of. In fact, it started with my son Austin when he was really small, constantly banging his paddle against the boat, which was the reason that I started sticking at first mouse pads, and then after that it turned into foam, which ultimately led to traction pads that now are pretty much standard on every boat out there. But it was originally because sound travels through the air at a predetermined speed, and it refracts off the surface of water. But when you bump something that's contacting the water and that sound is transmitted through the water, it travels 4 times as fast as it does in air. So a little bump of the boat, a little drop of the pliers, a little bang of the paddle against the side of the kayak is going to spook wary fish, especially if you're in places where a lot of times the kayak is getting you into fish that have never seen or heard a person before. And a lot of people think that those fish are harder to spook. But I want you to think about this for a second. If a fish has never heard a person before, or if they're not used to there being watercraft in their area, they're probably more likely to be spooked, which is why you have to be very, very cognizant of the noise that you make. And the noisiest thing on the boat is your paddle. I see people all the time set the paddle down and then they stand up and that paddle does a back and forth on the gunnels of the boat or on the side of the boat. I see people set the paddle down and they pick their rod up to make a cast and the front of the paddle hops up and slaps back on the front of the boat. Guys, I gotta be honest with you, you're just not going to catch big fish like that. So let me show you why this RotoGrip is such an awesome product. So the way the RotoGrip works is, it pretty much works with any paddle, not just this really pretty Navigator Bend and Branches paddle here, by clicking right onto the paddle shaft. And as you can see, I clicked it onto the paddle shaft and it doesn't fall off, which means when you put the paddle on there on your boat, it's not gonna fall off either. So you can start with the basic RotoGrip that's gonna allow you to stick your paddle in there, lock it in place, and that's gonna go a long ways to quieten it down. A really simple solution is to put one on each side of the boat, and then when you put your paddle down, you just lock it in place. Now it's locked and it's not gonna rock back and forth and bang on the boat. What I really love about this thing is you can make combination products with this and other YakAttack products. I like to use the standard lock and load base with a 90-degree offset, put this thing on there. It makes a great net holder. It makes a great paddle keeper for putting the paddle under the nose of the boat, the bow, and then locking it in place. You can add a 4-inch extension, a 90-degree offset, and then now you have a great standing paddle holder. You can also kick that off to the side of the boat. Now you have a great offset paddle holder. But this thing works really well with a number of different products or by itself to help you manage paddle position and to keep the paddle quieter, out of the way, and stowed until you need it. Now, I'll tell you this, even though this thing is designed specifically for paddles and it locks onto those shafts perfectly, it works great for rod butts. It works great for camera poles. It works pretty much for anything that has a round shaft on it that will engage, and then you can take a bungee cord and put it through there and you can put it over and lock it, and then you can set it and forget it. Even if the shaft happens to be a little bit smaller than the rollers in the RotoGrip, you're still gonna get a lot of use out of it. So I use these things for rod stagers. I use them to hold my paddle in place, and I like to make combination products by combining this with the 90-degree offset, lock and load bases, extensions, to create the ultimate in paddle and landing net management. So if you don't have a YakAttack RotoGrip in your arsenal, you should definitely consider adding one, because it makes a whole lot of problems on your boat easy to solve, easy to cure, and you're gonna catch more big fish when you're not banging things that are metal or plastic or wood on the side of your kayak. So guys, hope you like this tip, and yeah, pick yourself up a YakAttack RotoGrip. This and everything else in the awesome product line from YakAttack is available from the folks at FishUSA.